As always, this podcast is brought to you by Declan Kirby GAA Star. Pre-order the book now from Bookstation and be in with a chance to win a family pass to the Croke Park Museum. The new book comes out on April 21st. If you're looking to pick up any presents for any nieces or nephews in the coming weeks and months, then why not check out Declan Kirby GAA Star. Best children's GAA book on the market at the minute, as voted by Amazon and Easons. It's available on all good bookshops, Amazon, Easons, absolutely everywhere. So get yourself a copy. The new book comes out on April 21st, Declan Kirby GAA Star, European Dreams. Check it out now in the description down below, and let's start the stream. Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. My name is Aaron. I'm delighted to be joined here by John McMahon to run through all the weekend's action, all the big talking points. We're running through all 16 games in the Alliance National Football League, from Tyrone's win over Mayo, Dublin's big win over Donegals, some big results in Division 2 as well, with Galway very comfortably dispatching Derry, which is definitely a surprise in most people's eyes, and some big results in Division 3 and Division 4 as well. I suppose, first of all, John, what's the crack? How's things with yourself?
Yeah, all is good, man. Thanks a million for having me on again. I really want to buy one of them books now. That was a really, really good intro. So, God, if there's anything else I want to do tonight, is buy one of them books. Jeez, I'm really enthused by them books. But yeah, no, great, my man. Thank God. Weather's great. Football is absolutely booming. We're really looking forward to this weekend's action. It's going to be mouth-watering stuff. Teams going to go up, teams going to go down. And last weekend's action was just brilliant. So much to talk about. Lots of banter. And great to be on again, my man.
100%. Well, I suppose we'll start with Tyrone and Mayo. I suppose big result in the end for Tyrone, winning by 2 points. I mean, a lot of people obviously would have probably looked at Mayo to win this game coming into it, given the fact that they were, I suppose, the more informed team, really, despite having lost to Kerry last weekend. But in the end, Tyrone, I suppose they, once again, kind of when their cards are against them, siege mentality, all the rest, they come up trumps with a huge victory here, a 2-point win.
Yeah, no, look, they definitely did. And I suppose it was a fairly routine victory for them, really. Mayo really didn't offer much now for the whole game, really, when you think about it. And I suppose Tyrone probably got the job done really in the first half. Second half performance wasn't great. Peter Hart had an absolutely brilliant game. Conor Myler engine just could run all day. I suppose the inside forwards of Tyrone were quite quiet. The likes of Darren McCurry and Kieran McGarry's, his form's going to be talked about in recent days, weeks. Obviously, the player of the year last year, so he needs to up his act, judge by all accounts. But no, look, it was probably routine enough victory for Tyrone, really. I know there may be a couple of nervy bits at the end, but look, Mayo probably were very, very disappointing. It was a very disappointing performance by them. Maybe a bit of shadow boxing was going on, maybe holding fire with a lot of players. I know Aidan O'Shea started the centre half back, but they really just didn't have much going forward. It was a very, very disappointing performance by them. 9 points in 75 minutes of intercounty football is simply not good enough. And it wasn't just great stuff by James Horan's men. I don't really know what he was trying to achieve with the kind of formation, tactics, the team, the starting team on Saturday night. It was very odd. But look, Tyrone will be happy enough. I just think their second half performance was a bit lackluster. They did let Mayo back into it. Probably should have won the game by more the way Mayo were setting up. I think Darren McCurry was very quiet, but look, it probably was built up to be an exciting game. It didn't turn out like that, Aaron. It was a pity, and it probably ruined a few people's accumulators.
Yeah, I'd say so. No, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, from a Tyrone perspective, I suppose it's definitely positive from their point of view to finally see them clicking a bit more, especially in the first half as well. Like, they looked more sort of like they had that vendetta, maybe they've been wrote off quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. It looked like they had a point to prove, really, in that first half.
Yeah, definitely did. I think the big thing is, and if you're reading articles and listening to podcasts, the big thing is when the gun is put to the head of Tyrone, they always do kind of stand up and deliver. And by God, they showed glimpses of that on Saturday, but I just think that second half performance is a lot to be desired for. But look, they will be happy. It's a home win. They were very disappointing against Dublin last weekend. So no, look, it was a good performance, but I think really when you look at it, I know this is probably still early days to be saying a lot of this, but would you be looking at all Ireland contenders with the pair of them? I'm not really sure. And realistically, Tyrone have lost a lot of men. I don't really think they've many men to come back in. If it wasn't for Peter Hart in large parts of that game, Tyrone would have been a big bother. But no, I think, look, they'll be happy enough. I think Brian Dewar and Fergal Logan, they'll be happy with the 2 points. And yeah, I know there's big talk about Kieran McGarry's kind of form, but that man probably will, he'll be all guns blazing come the championship. And maybe a lot of them kind of have the mentality towards the championship and maybe taking it easy with looks of things in the league so far. Obviously there is one more game to go, but yeah, just a very kind of lackluster kind of game. I know you're kind of commenting on maybe Eamon Fitzmaurice's commentary during the game, and yeah, by all accounts, if you were nursing a bit of a hangover, if you're going out for a few pints with the lads that night, it probably wouldn't have been a good a good way to start the night, or maybe end your day to a degree. But yeah, Aaron, this was a poor game of football. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. Like, and as you were saying about Fitzmaurice, all right, he was definitely setting us all to sleep. Maybe, and nearly snoozed off in the second half of that game. I think sometimes when it is kind of a low scoring game, you need a bit of excitement sometimes in commentary a bit, and that definitely wasn't the case, unfortunately. Like, but from a Tyrone perspective, I mean, like looking at the overall All-Ireland big picture, I mean, Tyrone's an interesting one because it's hard to really know where they're at in terms of you seen them last year, and obviously they got hammered by Kerry. They ended up coming back, went through Ulster, went all the way and won the All-Ireland. And this year they have had a lot of players opting out, the likes of your Lee Brennans, for example, who obviously aren't him, Tiernan McCann, who isn't in there either, and Matty Donnelly's obviously been injured for a lot of the league as well. Good to see him back. So where would you have Tyrone in that overall All-Ireland picture? I think like a lot of people have Met or Kerry and Mayo in 1 and 2, whatever order you want to have them, and then maybe you've got Dublin and Tyrone who are coming back into the pack. What do you think?
Yeah, like that's what I'm kind of saying. Like with the form that maybe Dublin and are showing, and obviously we see maybe Kerry the form that they're showing, it probably is worrying kind of signs too for Tyrone to a degree, because obviously that wasn't really good enough. I know the first half display was very good, but look, it probably will slowly and steady come back into the pack. And I know like there's a lot said about the league and not taking too seriously and kind of putting a lot of preparation into the championship, but I just don't think they'll be worried as of yet. We all know how astute and smart Brian Dooher and Fergus Logan are. We've seen what it was like last year, so I just don't think they'll be that disappointed. But there is kind of causes, and I know we talk to Kyle Coney regularly, and he'd be kind of saying, but maybe the ins and outs of the panel. But like, if there's a bit of unrest there, if there's lads leave the panel, I know Colin McShane and Off the Ball was saying the other day that some of the lads that did leave the panel would definitely be in with a shot of getting on to the team, and it was just odd that they did maybe leave. And for McShane to be honest about that, and obviously McShane's form at the minute is kind of questionable too, so it maybe there is a bit of upheaval, a bit of unrest, so we just don't really know. But we seen Darren McCurry during the week in the BBC podcast saying that if Mickey Hart was to stay on, he probably would have left himself. So I don't know. Tyrone, it's a funny county. Like, obviously winning an All-Ireland last year, you think to push on and have it go and have a good league campaign. It's probably been the polar opposite of that. I know they did get the win on Saturday, but they've had a really dodgy league campaign. They weren't great in the McKenna Cup. So it just doesn't bode too well so far. But look, again, it is all about the championship. I know the pair, but Tyrone will go all guns blazing for it. But yeah, I'm still wasn't really convinced by them Saturday night, and I still think they've a lot of work to do, Aaron, really. But yeah, we'll see come the championship and even the game this weekend.
Yeah, Sharon Hegarty says here, Tyrone always seem to turn it on when they are in a relegation battle. And I suppose that's exactly the point, isn't it, with Tyrone? They always seem to turn up, when their backs are against the wall, when they're being wrote off. You think of those All-Ireland semi-finals last year, they beat Kerry and Mayo en route to winning the All-Ireland. And funnily enough, in these last two games, they've Mayo and Kerry obviously in reverse order this time around. So, I mean, could they turn over Kerry? Could they produce something magical next weekend, avoid relegation? Or, will they be looking at other results and hoping other teams can do them a favour?
Yeah, I think to be looking at other teams who will do them the favours, because I think Kerry probably will want to keep the momentum going up into the championship. I think it seems to be like a year like no other for Kerry at this stage, and I know there is so much pressure to get back the Sam Maguire trophy, and they'll be all guns blazing. So I really do feel that Kerry probably will start a strong team this weekend. I know they don't really have to, but I feel they will. I know David Clifford only came on second half of yesterday's game, but I just think the Tyrone game, it'll be a big test for the Kerry lads, and I think they will really go full shot for it this weekend. So much to the pity of probably, and much to the sorrow probably of Tyrone, because Tyrone probably are expecting maybe some of the subs to kind of get a run for Kerry this weekend, but I think Kerry will kind of put the foot down the throat. But look, it'll be an interesting kind of thing. But just I think Tyrone really do need to kind of get their house in order. And like God, if there's still talk about Hull and Mode and lads are only getting back to themselves, Jesus, lads, you came back from that holiday in January now at this stage. So Jesus Christ, there shouldn't be, get rid of any cobwebs you might have had. But there's a bit of cause for concern. Derek Conlon was very good Saturday night. He showed well for the ball. He did do well with basically anything he done, or anything got his hands on the ball. He was substantial with it. But I just think the form of the likes of Colin McShane, Kieran McGeary, Darren McCurry, and some of them is quite worrying. But from the Peter Hart and Conor Myler side of things, terrific displays. And to be fair, if it wasn't for the old guard at this stage, Aaron, Tyrone would be in a lot of bother.
100%, yeah. And I suppose discussing Mayo then briefly, Alan says here James got it wrong in the second half. No need for Aidan O'Shea to be back there in the second half. Morgan wouldn't hit over the press with that wind. And yeah, what did you make of Aidan O'Shea in there at centre back? I mean, to be fair, probably didn't really work out in the end. And it seems like the impression I got of this game really that James Horan was probably looking at it and thinking, well, we're not going to get relegated. Getting to the league final is a bonus, really. I mean, Galway isn't too far away as well. I've seen a few people saying on Twitter, do Mayo even want to be in that league final? I don't know, because Galway isn't, it's only a couple of weeks away at this stage. So, was he just going into this and saying, well, I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll put, Paul Towie in there, I'll try these lads out, like Donagh McHugh was in there, David McBride, a fullback as well. So was James just really kind of trying different things out, just because he could?
Yeah, it did really feel like one of them games, and there was a lot of experimentation going up in the half forward line, the full forward line, and Aidan Orme, and some of them lads kind of getting runs, and I know Ryan O'Donoghue was playing, but I think Aidan O'Shea, I know we were kind of saying in the group chat, but centre half back, I think to play that position, you need to be fairly nifty, you need to support the play, you need to get up the pitch a lot more. Aidan O'Shea is 31, 32 now. He's no spring chicken. He won't be offering you legs. So I think the role of Aidan O'Shea, it's been widely talked about. I just think bring him on as an impact sub. I just think, the centre half back position for Aidan O'Shea, he just felt a bit lost. I know there could have been a call for him to maybe have him around the edge of the square or something like that. But no, I just think I don't think that's really a good position for him going forward. And a lot of people can say, bring him on to sub, etc. But I just think the general opinion seems to be Mayo do seem to motor well without him. He slows up their play a bit. Their transition is a bit quicker probably without him. So I don't know, trial and error by Mr. Horan, I'd say, on Saturday night. But again, did it really work? I'm not sure. Tyrone moved fairly quick up through the middle. Aidan O'Shea, he's not Usain Bolt, Aaron. He never really had pace to burn. So no, I don't think centre half forward. Centre half back would be a position for O'Shea. Maybe the full forward line or something like that. Because for a man in GAA terms, for his vintage, that's just not a position going forward for him, I don't think. But again, James Horan, I don't know, he just looked like he was playing, covered his eyes, picking that team or something, and just was throwing lads in position for the crack, because just that won't wash come to the championship. That won't wash against Galway. And if they want to win in All Ireland, they'll need to get their house in order.
100%, yeah. I do think they made a lot of changes. I think when they've got the best starting 15, I mean, I still think they're thereabouts in the All Ireland series. I probably still have them as my own pick to win the All Ireland. I still think they have a lot of metal around the middle, a lot of metal around the back as well. But you're disagreeing with me, though, are you?
Oh, big man, I'm not sure. The form Kerry showing at the minute. I know there's the potential of Killian O'Connor. I don't know where he is at the minute. I'm not sure where Killian is at the minute. But I think Kerry, they're, what's the best way to describe Kerry at the minute? To go out the trap the quickest by the looks of things. But they've been absolutely brilliant. But Mayo, again, it's the age-old problem, getting to the latter ends of competitions and not getting over the line. But I think Kerry are the form team at the minute. But no, I don't. I'm not too sure about Mayo. But I'm intrigued by your point. I know you were saying to me a couple of weekends ago. But what's leading you on to say that, I suppose?
Yeah, well, I suppose their midfield, I think, is probably one of the best midfields in the country. I think Matthew Rowan has arguably been one of the best footballers in the country this year. I think he's been brilliant so far. Jeremy O'Connor, I think, has been in top class form. I think when you add Conor Loftus in there as well, defensively, I think they're very strong as well. Obviously, they weren't that strong at the weekend, but there was a lot of changes in there. I think when you bring Oisin Mullen back and the Hessian back in there as well, you've obviously got Brendan Harrison, who's coming back from injury at the minute as well. So I just think they're very well rounded. Lee Keegan in there, and obviously, their main worry I do have is I do think they probably have one of the best forwards in the country, and Ryan O'Donoghue. Maybe do they? The question is after that though is where the level of the other forwards at, because I was always kind of under the understanding that Cillian O'Connor was going to come back this year at some point. If he doesn't come back, I'm not sure. You've obviously got Tommy Conroy injured as well. That's obviously a huge loss. You know, I like the look of Aidan Orme and Jack Carney who've come into the team, but is it a year or two too early for them? I'm not sure. Jordan Flynn looks good as well. So it's a hard one to know, really. I think they've got a very good balance to their team, but maybe it's just not quite there yet. Maybe when they get all their players back fit and available, maybe then they'll be the team that can, you know, the Mayo team that can finally end this long way.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But I think the cards are very close, I think, to Kerry's chest at the minute. And obviously, you have the mighty boys in blue. They're back in business as well, Aaron. So it's going to be a good summer, my man.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And speaking of Kerry, I mean, big win for them away at Armagh. See, my problem with Kerry, though, sometimes is I feel like they just flatter to deceive.
Get them inside Croke Park. Get them inside Croke Park.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like on the big occasion, they just flatter to deceive a little bit. You know, you're looking at All-Ireland semi-finals and, you know, that big moment in 2019 as well. I just don't know. There's something... I feel like because I've backed Kerry so much, I've lost trust in them. Do you know what I mean?
It's like you and Coppers the other night.
Yeah, it is. It's like when someone goes up to get you a point and then they come back and don't bring you a point, and then all of a sudden they go up again. They're like, right, I'll get you a point this time. And then they come back and they still don't. You're like, come on.
100%, sir. This game was good. How would I describe my viewing of this game? Trying to get a stream for this game. GAA go, holy mother of God. I'd say I got about 10 seconds at the first half, and I know I finally find the proper link for it on TG Car. The website had it, the TG4 player, like, but yeah, just I don't know. I nearly can't really comment on the first half. But again, look, this game really probably was. I suppose David Clifford come on in the second half. He had a really, really, really good game, and he did come on, and the goalie got the celebration. It's real Lionel Messi stuff. Like the fantasy, the fanfare around that man is just incredible to look on to. And it's the GAA, it's getting very commercial, I feel. And that's probably for another chat, but I think Mr. Clifford really leading the line there. But a great win for Kerry. A very, very difficult place to go. Anyone would really struggle up in Armagh. It's such a tight pitch. The fans are absolutely on top of you. They're that close to you that nearly could help you kick a point. They're just, it's unbelievable. But it's a good win for them. Jack O'Connor will be very, very happy to go down there against a very well-rounded Kieran McGeeney team. Probably from an Armagh point of view, probably will be disappointed. Chances at the end, goal chance hitting straight at Shane Ryan, wee bits like that. Ryan O'Neill had a good game. Rory Grugan was fairly good in corner forward as well. And, you know, they'll be happy with their day's work. I can't see them being too disappointed. Kerry's the form team at the minute. All-Ireland contenders, really. So to have them in your home backyard, and to be only get bet by 3 points is very, very encouraging sign for Kieran McGeeney's men. Obviously, Kieran Donaghy would have known the Kerry lads inside and out, so that's probably why it was as close as it was. But no, a good game by all accounts. And GAA Go, if you're watching, can I have a refund, please?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you there. Do you know what the funny thing is as well with GAA Go sometimes as well is that it doesn't tell you that the content isn't available in your region until you buy it. So then you buy, and then you can't. It's like, oh, mental. But yeah, I got the game myself eventually on the TG Car app. Actually, funnily enough, that was the way I got it. On the website, yeah, it wasn't showing up on YouTube. It wasn't showing up either. All sorts of chaos to try and watch this game. But yeah, as you were mentioning there about David Clifford, I mean, it was an interesting goal in many ways because obviously the goalkeeper Ethan Rafferty
kind of celebration.
Yeah, kind of, but even Ethan Rafferty, it kind of reminded me of when you're playing FIFA or something. There's a glitch with the goalkeeper. You're just running through, and the goalkeeper's just, I don't know what he's doing. You just roll it into the goal or something. It kind of reminded me a bit of that. But yeah, do you know, I like the celebration from Clifford because you know what? I think he clearly believes in himself. He believes in his own. It was almost very Ronaldo-esque. Do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter when Ronaldo's scoring, even if they're winning 6-0, he's going off celebrating, making the most of it, you know?
100%. I suppose that's the funny thing. I seen a kind of funny tweet, and Kieran Donaghy kind of advised Clifford to enjoy it, celebrate the wee small wins, and when you do well at something, you know, celebrate and enjoy the game you're doing it. So, look at David Clifford. We all know the amount of hours GAA players put in. Clifford's probably the best in the country at the minute, hands down. And look, enjoy the crack, enjoy a bit of fun because these things don't don't last too long, and obviously we see so many cases of lads kind of dropping out. But it was look, it was a good performance with Clifford. Why he didn't start, I'm not sure. Was that a bit of messing from Jack O'Connor's point of view? But no, the celebration, that was enjoyable. The goal was interesting. I don't really know how that managed to go in, as you say, a FIFA glitch to a degree, but it was an important goal. God, if Kerry didn't get the goal, God knows what way that game would have ended up. Christ, the point he kicked along the sideline, he dummied his man, and then he gave another dummy, and Jace, he nearly gave the viewers a dummy with the amount of dummies he gave. But he is just a sick man. And I would like to be marking him after a few points the night before.
Oh Jesus, no! I think you'd be sent to bed fairly soon enough. I think, to be honest, you'd be going to bed on the sideline or something. But yeah, like I seen, I think it was Ray Boyne, I think, who put up on Instagram. He was basically talking about how David Clifford always plays with his head up, and I think you can even see that sometimes when he has the ball. He seems to always know what he's going to do before, like seconds before he goes and does it. It's just you'd run. I know we kind of speak about him a lot on this podcast, and everyone kind of bigs him up quite a lot, but you would run out of words at times to describe him, really.
Yeah, look, I suppose you can nearly dedicate a podcast to him, but he is such a good leader. And at his age, what is he, 21, 22? He is he's a terrific player, and he really is flying. And again, it's just the fanfare around him. It's great to see the kids running onto the pitch, having a bit of crack with him after. But no, it was brilliant to see. And I suppose, from referring back to the game from that kind of point of view, the goal was so important because it really did. It was a get out of jail card for Kerry at that point. If that didn't go in, as I said, God knows what would have happened. Armagh had the momentum in the second half for large parts. Really was becoming very pivotal. Jericho Burns is brilliant as well. So there definitely was warning signs. And I really do think, and God, if there's any Armagh fans watching or any Armagh fans disappointed this week, God, do not be disappointed. 3 points against an absolutely sensational Kerry team is not to be frowned upon. So much to work on, so much to build on. And I know there's kind of rivals with Armagh over the years with Cavan and Armagh, but God, this could be a good year for the Orange men up north, Aaron.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously we were speaking about Kerry there as well, and I suppose you have to give a mention to the likes of Jack Savage, Paddy Clifford, Stephen O'Brien, who I think all done very well. And that's the thing about Kerry, is they don't just have David Clifford. They've so much forward, so much range all across the pitch, and really with the talent they should win the All-Ireland. But for me, it's just that big occasion sometimes where I feel like maybe they've let themselves down in the past. I mean, Mayo have as well, to be fair, though. So it's kind of an interesting one. But you were mentioning Armagh there. I mean, they definitely did play very, very well altogether. I mean, they probably didn't even play at their absolute best, and it was still only a 3-point game. And the likes of Jason Duffy coming off the bench, that goal chance that he has, if that goes in, maybe it's a different game. So I mean, Armagh are they started so well, they got so much hype. I feel like now they're kind of going under the radar a bit again.
Oh yeah, like 100%. And I suppose obviously, the start that Kerry got was really, really good, and you're kind of worrying, right, will Armagh get back into this? And God, is this going to be dance great? And by God, they did, and they just kind of showed that McGeaney grit and determination. But look, it again, I keep referring back to the point. It's seriously good stuff by Armagh yesterday. It's a lot to work on, and they will be very happy. And from the Kingdom point of view, another box ticked. Jack O'Connor will be happy out. And good games from even the likes of Paddy Clifford as well. He was very good too, and obviously you're naming a couple of pairs there too. But look, Kerry will be happy. I keep saying it. It's a tough place to go. That would have been a long spin for the Kerry lads to go down to Armagh. Yes, look, they'll be happy. Another 2 points. I think before the league started, I think you would have got Kerry at 4-1 to go and beat in the league. If anyone done that, fair play, because that's probably really going to stand true. I think they will get the win this weekend as well. So, a seriously good win for the men from the Kingdom, and Jack O'Connor is a happy man this week, Aaron.
100%, yeah. And Sir Klopp says here, Armagh already peaked this year. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, I feel like they started obviously very fast. I mean, they got the big win.
Nice to see Jurgen Klopp tuning in tonight. Good to see you, Jurgen.
yeah, he's in there probably laughing his face off at the two of us or something like
that. You think he'd other stuff to be at, Aaron? Jesus.
I'm sure it's the international break. So, I mean, what else would you be doing?
Watching Aaron and John talk GAA on Monday night.
Oh, to be fair, it'd be great to get Jurgen Klopp on this now. I mean, Even if he knows nothing about Gaelic football, we'll teach
just
him.
Like us, it works.
Just like us, yeah, exactly.
That's an interesting point, Mr. Klopp. Pete, look, it's hard to know where Armagh kind of are at with they will be putting a lot of emphasis, but I really do feel Kieran Donaghy probably was brought in to win an Ulster Championship for Armagh and beyond. I wouldn't, like a lot of people, I know our Conor McKenna was saying to us that it might, you'll probably look at Armagh's All-Ireland credentials. I think that's probably too soon, but I think an Ulster Championship has to be in Armagh's remit this year. Tyrone's all over the place, I still feel. Let me think, where else we talking? Donegal, take Michael Murphy out of the equation, you're not looking at much. Derry got a hammering at the weekend. We'll touch on that in a couple of minutes. So it's wide open, but I really do feel if Armagh can't get over the line in Ulster this year, there is something seriously wrong. It's a massive chance for them. And I know they're not in a bad side of the draw too. So look, it will be very interesting. But from an Armagh point of view, they're probably just hoping they haven't peaked too soon. And I know there's still a very strong Division 4 Cavan team in that Ulster Championship as well, Aaron.
100%, yeah. And I suppose Alan is even saying here as well, Armagh v Donegal next weekend will be interesting as they meet in Ulster a few weeks later. I mean, that's exactly the point as well. I mean, because with Armagh, I mean, they clearly are the front runners. Like, I feel like if they don't get over the line, I mean, unless someone turns it up as they go along, but getting Donegal first time out as well, I feel like that's a great time to do it. And then as Gavin was asking here about Cavan, I think it'll be Antrim in the semi-finals, to be fair.
Jesus, the way things are going for Cavan at the minute, Christ, probably will be Antrim. But yeah, look, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, and I know with Donegal this weekend, but I think there will be a lot of shadow boxing. Kieran McGeeney, Declan Bonner, them pair of boys weren't born yesterday. I think they will be holding fire this weekend for that game. So yeah, they'll not be kind of showing their full deck of cards. There'll be a lot of messing going on. I'd say there'll be a couple of yellow and red cards in that game, so it'll be a very physical game. So they will meet each other in the championship. That's what it's all about. That's the important game this weekend. I'd say there'll be a lot of shadow boxing and probably a poor quality game, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and Match Attacks Kid says here, I think Kildare could win against Mayo. And I suppose that does bring us obviously to that Kildare game, who comfortably dispatched Monaghan in the end. We've seen some of this on Allianz League Sunday yesterday. And I mean, 24 points in total. I mean, that's quite the scoreline to rack up in a Division 1 game. And you're kind of looking at it and thinking, Kildare have shown so much quality in this division. I mean, Jimmy Hyland is up there as one of the top scorers in Division 1. You've got Dara Kirwan back from injury, new management. Everything seems to be going right for Kildare, but yet they could very well still get relegated.
They definitely could. And my thoughts and prayers and condolences go to Monaghan on the bad loss at the weekend. I'm absolutely devastated for the Farney men. No, look, a great win for Kildare by all accounts. I don't know where the hell Monaghan were for that game. It was in Newbridge. I don't know what the nightlife is like up there. Maybe they're out the night before, or even that morning, or Banshee got them out of some pubs that morning. But that's a very poor performance. They'll be very disappointed. Kildare point of view, they will be delighted with that win. That's probably coming. Kildare have had a decent league campaign, 24 points any day of the week in a Division 1 game, as you rightly said, Aaron. Fair play to them. They'll be thrilled with that. And I suppose, league form, league games, they're such a minefield. Anyone could beat anyone, but a scoreline like that, it's just kind of beyond belief from Monaghan's point of view. They'll be very, very disappointed with that this week. They're in a relegation play or relegation battle this weekend, probably on account of that game. I don't know, as you said, we didn't really get to see much of it. Bits and pieces of it on that glorious Program League Sunday. So look, they'll be very disappointed this week. And Mr. Banty McInerney might have to get Liam Sheedy to do a bit of work this week, the former Hurling Tipperary manager.
Yeah, are Kildare that good, or were Monaghan that bad, do you think?
Oh, again, we didn't see much of it because I don't know. Like, I'm blue in the fist about League Sunday's coverage. God, if there's any producers from League Sunday watching this, Aaron, can they please sort it out, because it's driving me cuckoo. No, look, I think Kildare have to take a lot of credit for this performance. Daniel Flynn was top of the pops. Jimmy Hyland, brilliant. So they'll be delighted with that win. They'll be delighted with it. They've had very, very up and down sort of league campaign. I think that they probably do deserve that result in the grand scheme of things. They'd be trying so hard, and it's probably a very bad Monaghan performance, but God, Monaghan must be one of the most frustrating teams to follow. Shoot the lights out one day and get bet by bloody I suppose Kildare at the weekend, that's probably the perfect example. But no, that's a very bad Monaghan performance. A lot to work on for Banty McAdaney. It's hard to know really where that project with Banty's really going. You're probably looking at a potential Armagh Ulster Championship. If Monaghan don't get over the line this year, Monaghan's not going to be winning the All-Ireland anytime soon either. So, Banty, he's got Liam Sheedy in. He's got basically, I can't think of that Forwards coach. I can't think of his name. But, he basically has all the plans in place. And the project under Banty, I'm not really sure. Seemed like a bit of a poison chalice to take it back. The decision to get rid of Malachy O'Rourke was very odd. So, yeah, Conor McManus, it's worrying times for Monaghan, I feel, Aaron, and it's hard to know where they're getting the answers from.
Yeah, and Aaron says here Daniel Flynn didn't play, and that's even the point as well. I mean, they just have so much attack going forward. Even Flynn isn't even playing, and they're still brilliant.
And I mentioned it. Oh God, that goes.
I think I might mention them as well. To be fair.
Oh Jesus Christ, we're getting called out tonight, Aaron. Jeez, this goes to show. Okay, that fair play for calling us on that. But yeah, what a sensational player Daniel Flynn is, and he could have been playing in spirit. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, 100%. Alan says here Kildare could get to a league final or get relegated at the weekend. I think it would depend on if Armagh won. Then I don't think they would because of the head-to-head. But I get what you mean. Like, they're definitely, like the fact that Mayo and Armagh obviously lost at the weekend. There's only 2 points between some of the teams, so it'll be interesting to see where they all end up as well. I suppose from a Monaghan perspective, I mean, it's a weird one with them. Anytime you feel like they're going to win, they lose. But then anytime you feel like they're going to get beat, they turn it on and turn it up. They're such a strange team at times. Like against Donegal, like before that game, I think a lot of people felt like, right, they're probably dead and buried. They're probably not going to produce anything. Then they produce a win. Then you're looking at this game and they're going to be close. They're probably going to be thereabouts, and they get hammered. And then, it wouldn't even surprise you nearly it would be a surprise if they turned over Dublin. But given how they just have this knack of surviving in Division 1, you just wouldn't know at this point.
Like a cat with 9 lives, Aaron, at this stage, and it's beyond belief. And look, if they're looking for a favour of Dublin this weekend, well, there's something else coming. Dublin are in superb shape once again. We've seen the performance against Donegal yesterday. We'll touch on that in a couple of minutes. Look, if they're looking for a favour this weekend against a very strong Dublin team again, they have another thing coming. I think the form that Monaghan have shown throughout the league, they probably do deserve to go down to Division 2, and that's been absolutely frank about it. You can't just keep relying on McManus to dig out of holes. Like, the man is we talk about Michael Murphy being 47 years of age. Like, McManus must be 48 at this stage, so you can't just keep relying on him. There doesn't seem to be much coming through from Monaghan. You wonder what's really going on. We're hearing different stuff from the camp. I know one of our pundit members in the group chat was saying there's a bit of upheaval in training and lads are in each other's faces and blah, blah, blah. It's hard to know. I just think if Monaghan were to do something right next year, I don't know what they have to do, but I really do feel if they could try to get Malachy O'Rourke back. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think he'd be a great addition to the fold once again. He had the respect of the players. The players loved him. I don't think the players really, as much as people say, oh, they love Banty, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel Banty's the right man to take Monaghan forward. I think Malachy O'Rourke was a brilliant man. If they could try to get him back, then we might see Monaghan football strong again. But I think this year for Monaghan is going to not be successful.
Yeah, and the comments are absolutely flying in there, so I really do appreciate it. And apologies if I can't get to every comment, but yeah, if you could smash the like button as well, that would be much appreciated. Sort your life out here says, does the GAA give a reason why there's no way to watch the Kildare game? They have cameras at it. Why is it not on GAA Go or anywhere else? Yeah, I mean, maybe
is that the YouTube name? Is that talking to me or you, Aaron?
Oh, I don't know, maybe it should be sort the GAA Go life out. Maybe that's what it should be. But
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And Christ bless and save us. It's not like the GAA to turn money down. I don't know why there isn't stream for these games. I don't know why my beloved Cavan wasn't all over the airwaves against London yesterday. It needs to be sorted out, Aaron. And if you think about it, Aaron, the best hangover cure. Well, I know not to watch Cavan now, but if you're after the sore head Sunday morning, right, what games can I watch? Stream it up there. You can't do it this year. Sort it out, lads.
Yeah, and you know, the good thing I found last year as well on GAA Go was because there were so many games obviously being streamed on GAA Go, like you could watch the games on a Monday or whatever. You didn't have to watch Allianz League Sunday. You could just watch the games, you'd be all good. And sometimes even on GAA Go, I used to enjoy like the sort of local commentators they get on. Sometimes they'd educate you on the game. They talk about players. You'd learn a thing or two watching Division 3 or Division 4 football. But when you're watching Allianz League Sunday, it's always just about the same old thing. Oh, Kildare finished with 13 men. Why was that? It's always just about talking points and red cards and penalties and this and that. Like, why not show the skill, the great points, all the rest, you know?
Lazy journalism, Aaron. Lazy journalism. I really do feel, and you just have to take a quick look on Twitter, the people giving out about League Sunday, it's just absolutely abominable stuff. I can't understand how the TV license, that's what we're paying for. Analysis like that. Colin Cooper coming on in his big flashy jacket to say Kerry had a good win today. Like Christ, Colin Boyle was good enough yesterday, but the likes of Colin O'Rourke, he's outdated. It's boring. It's nonsense. Who else are we talking there with Sunday game? Kieran Whelan's not too bad. Pat Spillane Off his head. I can't listen to Pat anymore. The big red face on him giving out about absolute nonsense. So a big rethink's needed for League Sunday to survive. I know Oisin McConville's there, but see, the thing with Oisin is he's another 50 channels and podcasts, so I just don't think he's the time for it, and he's managing about 10 clubs as well. So yeah. Oh, look at Aaron. There's a big rethink with RTE needed, because Christ bless and saves, the analysis is absolutely cat.
Yeah, and the structure of it is very weird as well. Going from Division 2 to Division 1 to
ladies football, and
then just very, very odd. I mean, it'd be like if we were discussing this podcast here and all of a sudden, all right, let's discuss Division 3. All right, let's move on to hurling. Okay, let's now discuss handball. Gee, you know what I mean? It'd be crazy stuff. I mean, everyone would just be like, you know, crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I suppose we'll move on anyway. I suppose.
Well, up the Dubs.
Happy days. Last but definitely not least of our Division 1 discussions. Anyway, Dublin are back.
They are back, women. Yeah, they're back, man. They're back. They probably never really left, Aaron. They probably never really left. And to be perfectly honest with you, and I think I've spoken enough on my podcast about this, I am quite happy for Desi Harl, because Christ bless and save us, like, he's been through a lot of stick. People call it for his head, and he's got the wins that's probably going to keep Dublin in this division. Obviously, they play on this weekend, that probably will get over the line. So happy for that man. Happy for that man. But no, look, I am honestly thrilled for him. A very, very good Dublin performance. I love Niall Scully's goal. His composure, technique, balance for that goal was just brilliant. He tucked in the corner so well. You knew, again, just very like the Tyrone game, Dublin, from a minute onwards, they were top of the pops. They moved so well. They were on it. Brian Fenton, Kieran Kilkenny were just absolutely on it. Tom LaHill, the movement through the middle was just sensational. It was just like the Dubs of old. Dean Rock had a great game. Cormac Costello moved well inside. So, yeah, in fairness, they were very, very fresh looking yesterday. I know that a bit of luck with getting the penalty probably wasn't a penalty. Really well tucked away by Dean Rock. But, no, a very, very convincing Dublin performance. I know a bit of trouble for Paddy Roberti's goal. Went in over Mr. Comerford's head. Probably would have went in over anyone's head. It was a very, very difficult ball to judge. But, yeah, Aaron, you must be happy, man, again, because it was a very, very good performance. Again, it was just probably like the days of what, 2020 or 2019. You know, the Swallows were flying around Croke Park. It was a nice kind of sunny day. It was kind of like things were back to basics. But it's funny, like the Dubs are back and they're this and they're that. Realistically, they probably never really left, because every game that was played in the league this year, there was that fear factor. We didn't know what was going to come up against the Dubs. They could have, like, the Kildare game, the Armagh game, the Mayo game, any Dublin performance could have come out of there. So I really don't think, they're back, they're this and they're that. They never really left. And look, it was a very, very good performance yesterday.
Yeah, and Alan says here Dublin should have won by more. Few bad wides, defence still a bit open, and I suppose that is the point. I think 8 goals I think in the league so far this year. I think only Fermanagh and Longford I think have conceded more in the entirety of the league. So that definitely is a bit of a worry from a Dublin perspective. And as you were saying there, Michael Shield and I think it was James McCarthy getting caught under that high ball for the goal. So like definitely a little bit, just a few little defensive issues here and there. I mean, the Paddy McBrearty goal is nothing got to do with defending because he's obviously going for the point, and you know, obviously Michael Shield is, you know, he's not our first choice goalkeeper, to be fair. So I mean, I don't know about that one, but there does just seem to be a few little defensive issues here and there going back to early in the league that they might need to work on. But if you get Owen Merchant back fully fit, you get Robbie McDade back fully fit as well, more game time for Mick Fitzsimons, and I think hopefully hopefully anyway we'll get better and we won't be shipping in goals all the time.
Yeah, and look, that's great stuff to work on, and no doubt Dublin probably put in a couple of hard blocks of training the last couple of weeks, no doubt they have, and they've worked on a lot of stuff, and their forward movement that was really lacking in the first couple of games of the week or games of the league, but God, they've really addressed all that now, and they're top of the pops going forward again. So sure, Brian Fenton, probably when he's in flow, he's a majestic footballer to watch. But I don't know, I was really, really impressed with Scully's goal. I know I'm saying it, but I tweeted about it yesterday. So many forwards, and you might see this up on every neck around the country, club games, county games, any game at all. They panic, they give it off to another man, they just rush a shot. Scully, cool, calms you like, bottom left, Bob's your uncle, goal for Dublin. So great stuff. Donegal point of view, happy enough. Croke Park, against a Dublin performance we probably didn't see coming to a degree. I know after the Tyrone game, but they'll be happy enough. Paddy McGrady had a good game. Michael Murphy was quite good as well. So I suppose that reliance, in them two men again is very evident once again. Ryan McHugh had a good game as well. But look, I think from a Donegal point of view, to go up to Croke Park on a Sunday afternoon to play the Dubs, it's a tight ass. But they'll be happy enough. I think Declan Bonner, lots and lots to work on, addressing stuff for the championship, that long-term replacement for Michael Murphy. No one really has stood up to that, gone to the yet, but I think they can be really happy with Paddy McBrady's performance. Read the thing today that he has never won an All-Star. I was amazed by that because I would have thought he would have had his hands on one at this stage, but he hasn't. He had a great game yesterday. Christ, when Paddy McBrady's on form, arguably one of the best forwards in Ireland. Christ, he's just a left foot to die for. He had a great game. Narrowly underrated to a degree, but he goes about his business in such a good manner. He can be so happy with his performance. And I think Declan Bonner, 4-point defeat, I know, but he'll be happy enough leaving Ballia Ahaclia.
Yeah, I mean, for Paddy McBraith, 1-5 from play in total, 1-6 in total. I mean, quite an incredible performance really from him. And Dara O'Connor says Con to come back, they'll be in the semis at least. Kildare won't beat them in Croker. What do you think? Could Kildare spring an upset against the Dubs, or what you reckon? I mean, with Con O'Callaghan, I don't know. Someone else was asking there about Paddy Small as well. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I hadn't really thought about Paddy Small at all. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, with Con O'Callaghan, I don't know at this point. It's a really strange one, and no one quite knows really what the story is with him. Maybe he will come back, maybe he won't. But I think for Desi Farrell and for Dublin, they just need to, carry. No one player is bigger than the county, so you need to just crack on, make will with what you have, and look, hopefully it will deliver further down the line.
Yeah, definitely. And I think someone's kind of saying there's Chinese whispers of Conor Callan taking the year out. I think if you were to come back at this stage, you probably would need to be back. I know we've seen James McCarty yesterday, by the way. What a game. But yeah, I think Conor Callan, he's a different character. He's a quiet character, goes about his business in a very quiet manner. Word on the street is he's taking a year out. Who knows? He might go traveling. He might do this. He might have a bit of work to do. You wouldn't know. Paddy Small, that's an interesting one as well. Will he be back? So Christ, really, when you do think about it, there are some additions if they do decide to come back. So yeah, we will wait and see. But there are two quality additions if they do opt in for the year. We will wait and see. But God, if they can get them boys back, if they can get Owen Merchant fit, if they can get James McCarty firing all cylinders, are we looking at All-Ireland champions?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of improvement. Anyway, I mean, would you still consider them All-Ireland contenders, or do you think maybe or what do you reckon?
Oh yeah, big man, yeah, 100%. I think when you look at the kind of counties in Division 1, I know you're looking at Kerry. I'm still not overly impressed by Mayo at the minute, really. I think Tyrone, I'm not impressed by them at the minute. I think they're at C still at the minute. So I think Dublin, I think that they found a gap and they're going to go with it. I think Dublin are definitely going to be thereabouts on the 3rd Sunday. Or no, it'll be in July, actually. God, that's all been changed. So in July again. So I think it'll be thereabouts. But yeah, I think when they get them boys back, the form they're showing at the minute, get them wee bits and pieces at the back sorted, yeah, you're probably looking at the semi-final end of things again. Kildare point of view, would they put up to Dublin in Croke Park? No, I don't think so. Going on that Dublin performance yesterday, going against the performance against Tyrone, no, you're still probably Kildare, a lot of work to do to get up to that level.
100%, yeah. I suppose we'll move on to Division 2 then. I mean, this was a big result really from the weekend. I mean, Derry had the best defence in the entirety of the National Football League coming into this game, but Galway had the best attack, and it was definitely the attack that prevailed. I mean, 4-11 in the end to Derry's 12 points, and I suppose a real reality check for Derry after all the hype, I suppose, they've had around them over the past, year and a half or whatever. So, I mean, I think a lot of people tipped Derry here, including myself, so big win for the Galwegian men.
It definitely was. It definitely was. And I suppose this is the kind of thing we were kind of talking about. Like, there's so much talk with this Derry team, and rightly so. I know they're the form team in Division 2 and blah, 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 and Rory Gallagher and et cetera, et cetera. But I think this was the big test for them. A big team like Galway, a big Division 1 team, a big kind of Connacht team. They didn't get over the line. They didn't get over that test. They got absolutely railroaded. And there you go, 4-11 to 12 points. So, that's what we're probably talking about. To get up to that level, you need to be putting up against the big teams. Derry couldn't do that, didn't do that, and a very, very poor performance. I know there was kind of talks during the week with Shane Wigan being out and various bits of that, but Páirc Joyce will be absolutely delighted with the form Galway are show, because everyone talks about that form before COVID in 2020, and before how well they're moving. But I think Joyce will be so happy with where they are at. It'll take this Division 2 campaign to get them back up to Division 1, get that form back. It done them the world of good, the absolute world of good. They build a bit of confidence, especially heading into the championship against Mayo. They'll be absolutely thrilled. 4-11, any game of football against an informed Derry team, they'll be absolutely thrilled with that. And fair play to them, because Páirc Joyce, he's probably one of the legends of the GAA. It's great to see him doing well with the Galwegians.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at their attack as well, and I suppose the influence of the likes of your Shane Walshes, your Damien Comer, Matthew Tierney, these lads, I mean, like they're just so free scoring at the minute. I mean, it's quite incredible, really. I mean, we'll get the league table up for Division 2 in a brief moment, but I mean, generally speaking, I mean, they just have so much firepower going forward. I mean, they could cause a lot of problems for Mayo. I mean, it's definitely not inconceivable.
100%, big man. And they really have to think the form Mayo are kind of showing at the minute, right? There is an opportunity there for us, and it's a huge opportunity, because Galway have sensational forwards. We know about Comer, we know about Shane Walsh, we know about Paul Conroy. They are sensational players, and to put up a score like that is brilliant. Is brilliant stuff. We know how defensive Derry can be. We know how defensive Rory Gallagher teams can be. To break down the balls like they did is brilliant stuff. It's a real credit to them. I'm actually delighted Galway are doing so well, because last couple of years it's been tough for them. It's been quite tough for Páirc Joyce as well. So look, it's brilliant for them. They're gaining confidence, they're gaining momentum, and happy out for them.
Yeah, and I suppose from a Derry perspective, I mean, how do you look at this one? I mean, Derry's always been a weird one for me. I know a lot of people have said, oh, Derry are far too overhyped. Way too many people speak about them, all the rest. I mean, I've always kind of said at the end of the day, they've done really, really well against the teams they've played. And you don't come from Division 3 to Division 2 and be in the top 3 of Division 2 and play as well as they have played if they're not a good team. But you do look at it at the same time, and you think, when you look at the teams top teams they've played over the past year or so, they obviously played Donegal in that Ulster quarter-final. They played Roscommon, which they drew with. So this is, again, you're looking at it and thinking they haven't played too many big teams. So I think when a lot of people are saying Derry are going to turn over Tyrone in a couple of weeks' time, probably is a bit premature, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100% it is premature, and that's the big test. If Derry want to get to that next level, that is an absolutely huge game for them. But yesterday, that's a very, very worrying game like that, and they might have conceded. I know they put up 12 points, but realistically, that's probably not going to win you any Division 2 games, really, against the standard you have to set for yourself. So, again, yes, there was the massive test, and they just couldn't get over the line. And there you go. They get up against a big team like Galway are, and that's the kind of performance that they put in. I know it's not going to be panic stations yet. I know, it is going to be all about championship for Rory Gallagher, and everything goes with that. I know Tyrone, they do have a good kind of sporting chance against them, but no, I feel if they can't really put it up to a Galway side or these kind of stronger teams, and it's hard to know where they really kind of go with that. And Derry, Jesus, they did spend long enough in the doldrums, many years without getting to the Ulster final. I know there's so much hype and buzz about them, but that performance at the weekend probably has set them back a bit, gave them a bit of a reality check, and Yeah, Mr. Rory Gallagher will have a bit of work to do, and no doubt he will put the work in because, by God, that man loves the game of Gaelic football.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't mean to do an Allianz League Sunday on it, but we'll just get to it. We'll just go back to Division 1 briefly and just look at the league table, because I actually forgot to do this earlier. So this is from GAA League Tables on Instagram, so make sure to give them a follow. Very handy for league tables and all the rest. But yeah, not a paid plug around like that. Just to clarify there. But yeah, looking at that league table there, I mean, who gets relegated, do you think?
Oh, $1 million question, my man. Oh God, they're 5 and 4s and 5s and 4s. What are we talking? Kildare and Monaghan.
Kildare and Monaghan, you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose Kildare play. See, the funny thing is, I think Kildare are more likely to beat Mayo than I think Tyrone are to beat Kerry. But at the same time, you'd feel like Mayo, they'll want to build a bit of momentum before that game against Galway, which isn't too far away as well. So I'd probably go with Kildare and Monaghan as well at this point. I think Dublin should have enough to beat Monaghan. I know a few people have said to me though recently, Monaghan do have a good record against Dublin in the league in the last couple of years. It is probably worth pointing out though, a lot of those league games came at the end when the season was kind of already over. So I don't know. I would fancy Dublin now to finally end our drought against Monaghan.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the performances are kind of showing at the minute. Clonus is a hard place to go to. I know they have a good enough record against you in Clonus and Croke Park to a degree, but no, I think Daisy Farrell knows what he needs to do. He'll have a plan in place, and I think you're looking at probably Kildare and Monaghan. But look, there's going to be so many twists and turns this weekend, and Christ, you'll want about 10 TVs in the room to watch all this football, Aaron. They're all on at the same time as well, aren't they?
They are, yeah, because it's the last game. To be fair, I do think that makes kind of a bit of sense though, because I think if it's a bit of a disadvantage if you know what I mean, if you already knew what you had to do, and it would probably take the excitement out of it. Like if Dublin lose to Monaghan or whatever, then it's, you know what I mean. So it probably is the right thing to do. But then again, you know, where these games going to be broadcast, they'll probably just show one game, which again is a bit ridiculous. But swiftly moving on anyway, back to Division 2.
I don't know how I'm going to get the chance to watch all these games. Any excuses for me, Aaron, or how the hell?
Yeah, and you know, I'm thinking of doing a live watch along when a lot of the games are going on as well, just for a bit of crack. We might get a few people involved as well. We'll see what happens. But moving back to Division 2 anyway, Cork and Down. Cork finally getting their first win of the year. Long time coming.
Definitely 110%. And Down are going down, Aaron. No surprise, they've been absolutely shocking on league. Good win for Cork by all accounts. Didn't probably see much of this game, unfortunately, but yeah, that's where it's at. A good win. They'll be delighted. Cork, we know the size of the county, we know the population, we know the funding, we know the players that they have. They should be doing a lot better than they are. So look, it's a great win for them. Builds momentum again. Parky Queeve, tough place to go for the Down men. Down will be disappointed. They'll build blocks in Division 3. I think the form, the caliber of player they have at the minute, they probably are a Division 3 team, really. They shouldn't be too devastated. They haven't put the effort in all league. I know James McCarthy's up there, give them a hand. Kind of got the manager's job at a bit of a canter to a degree. So look, they'll rebuild. They need to get some Lim Kilcoo boys on board. I don't know what's going up there. I know only Niall Kane and a couple of lads gone in, but they need to get the Brannigan brothers, or I don't know, Jerome Johnson or some of these boys on board, because that's man, great win. But no, Down, they're in bother. They really need to get, as I said, them Kilcoo boys back on board. A bit of belief. Down's a fantastic football and tradition county. Been in the wilderness since basically 2010 at this stage. The last time got to the All-Ireland final against Cork. But no, a lot of work to do for the Moore men. But Cork got a win, Aaron.
Yeah, and GAA Statsman saying there as well, Stephen Sherlock now top scorer in Division 2 at 127, and he scored 1-7 there yesterday as well. So I mean,
Jason Sherlock's cousin.
Jason Sherlock's cousin. Is it really? No, probably isn't. I shouldn't have bought that one. Imagine it was. I mean, to be fair, with a name like Sherlock, he's definitely a man to support anyway.
He's not tanned. Is he?
I don't think so, no. I don't think so.
No, that's serious scoring. And I think, Look, it is great stuff for Cork because Christ help us, it's been a tough couple of weeks for them, and Matthew will tell you all about it, and he has told you all about it. But look, they'll be happy with that result. Páirc Uí Chaoimh, the fans would have been happy. But yeah, no, on the go.
Yeah, and I suppose moving on then to Offaly and Roscommon, big win for the Rossies. I mean, comfortably dispatching Offaly, and you're looking at Roscommon. I mean, obviously they'll probably need a result against Galway of some sort. I think a draw might be able to do, depending on score difference, but big result this one.
Yeah, look, it's the age-old thing at this stage, Aaron. Like, look, I know it is great to be putting up them scores. No Stephen Poacher goes. Roscommon start playing a nice attacking brand of football. It's great to see that the players that do it, but the big age-old problem is go up to Division 1 and then go straight down again. So it's all about rubber stamping your place in Division 1. There's no point going up and going down again, and just being that yo-yo team. So that's a big massive thing for Roscommon. But that's a great win. A very high score. Offaly's probably in form at the minute, so they'll be very disappointed with that. And just goes to show, like I said this a couple of weeks ago, Poacher had them playing defence football last year. He's gone. They have the Fords, the Venda Smiths, Donny Smiths, the Martyrs of this world. Connor, like Aaron, I've said this numerous times. Them boys are absolutely quality footballers. It's just like the way they were playing football last year. It was like holding back. I don't know. I know you might not get this farming terminology, but like it was like holding cows into a field. You just had to kind of let them run in and Christ, just let them play. And by God, they're doing it. And so fair play to Roscommon. It's a very high score. It's great to see something like that. But Christ, I don't know what's going on in Offaly's defence because 5-time All-Ireland winner Tomas O'Shea has gone up there, and I hope he's not going up there for the easy money, Aaron, because me and you wouldn't do that.
Says you. X1 says, shocking game by Offaly. Looked like they gave up and just got ready for the Cork game at half time. Yeah, maybe they did. I mean, it was kind of one of them things where I don't think score difference can come into it at this stage because it's based on head to head, and I don't think three teams can finish on 3 points. I think in this or on 5 points, I should say. Sideline view with Darragh O'Connor was saying there. I did say at the start of the league we would go up. Incredible to think Ross were 5th favourites at the start of the league. Jesus, yeah, like looking back at that, I mean that's kind of great. I think Cork and Meath were more favourites than Roscommon, which I suppose in hindsight really looks a bit foolish.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And look, at Roscommon, they'll be absolutely thrilled with that. Anthony Hunn will be delighted with that because obviously Roscommon can be funny, like quite like Monaghan to a degree, to Cavan to a degree if we can get our house in order. You don't know kind of what you're going to get with them, but I keep saying it, when you have the players like to do, the quality like to do, you need to utilise that quality, and by God, they have it in abundance. So it's good to see a strong Roscommon, but the big thing is if they get up to Division 1, can they stay there? And that's been the problem in the last couple of years. And to have the quality, will Anthony Cunningham stay on board next year to keep the momentum going? It'll be interesting to see, but that's a huge win at the weekend for the men from Roscommon, Aaron.
Yeah, and 11 different scores in total as well. So I mean,
that's class.
Quite a range of like all their starting forwards scored as well. So I mean, that tells you
that's what I'm talking about. Like that's quality. That's what they were crying out for last year. And like it goes to show, I'm not kind of pointing the finger at Stephen Poacher here, but Jesus, like if he wasn't there last year, God knows where the Roscommon lads would have went, because they're playing Galway in the championship last year. They looked a bit dead at water, dead at sea, and you unleash the beast, and look what's after happening there.
Do they beat Galway next weekend? Do you think they have them at home? So I mean, it would be a very tough one. It'd be a tough game. Galway have won every game. They're already
be a shootout, I think.
Yeah, but they're already promoted. They might want to rest players maybe for Meath or for Mayo, I should say, coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And I'm sure they won't want to give anything away, because if they do play Roscommon further down the line, there might be an element of keeping your cards close to your chest.
No, definitely. And hopefully that could be a shootout. That could be a game to watch. I don't know how we're going to get to watch it amongst all the other games, but that game, you're probably looking at a D or a W, Aaron.
100%. Yeah, I suppose moving on then, Clare and Meath. Big win for Meath. Back-to-back wins. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Meath and Dublin decide to start winning at the same time.
Yeah, very low score game by the looks of things, Aaron. Again, didn't see much of this game, but no, look, Meath will be happy with that. You need to get a win. You need to build a bit of momentum there. It's a strong Clare team we all know about. Mr. Collins is up there, but Meath will be happy. Andy McEntee might crack a smile this week. He might be happy. So look, at low scoring game by all accounts. probably glad to miss out on that one because didn't see a whole pile of it. Look at a 1 point Meath, a 1 point win against a good Clare team. Meath will be happy enough. Are the Leinster, I suppose, in that remit of winning the Leinster Championship? I don't think so because they've had a very, very poor league campaign, Aaron.
Yeah, and I suppose getting the league table up there as well, so you can see Galway obviously already promoted.
Roscommon have had a good league, haven't they?
Still definitely in the mix. Yeah, I mean Down are doing brilliant there, sitting right down there at the bottom with a point. I mean, I don't know what's your opinion? What's going wrong with Down?
Oh, big man, Down's going down. Look, you could nearly dedicate a podcast to what the crack is with Down, but look at no wins from 6 games, and to draw 1 game. Like Christ, I know that's a strong Division 2, and that's probably where Cavan should be. But Jesus, no, it's big worries up there. And if any Kilcoo boys are listening, get back and play for your county team, lads, because Christ bless and save us, they need you.
And between Offaly and Cork next weekend, Offaly are at home. Who do you think there? I mean, could Cork be joining them? I mean, it's going to be a tough one.
It will be. It definitely will be. But I think Cork probably, they're a funny team. I think maybe when the gun is put to them, they might survive. It's hard to know. But it's this weekend. God, Aaron, it's exciting stuff, my man.
Danny Allen says here, Jones again, brilliant for Meath. Conor McGill returned, really helped backs Meath. Have unearthed new players, Scully, Muldoon, Harkin, Clark, Hogan. Incredibly, that Meath's 5th victory over Clare in 5 years. And yeah, Harry Hogan's definitely got a lot of praise, all right, because I know Meath have definitely had a lot of different goalkeeper problems over the years. And yeah, I'd be curious to know for any Meath fans watching, like, let me know what do you think the realistic expectation is for Meath this year, because is it maybe cause a shock, or maybe get to a Leinster final if you avoid Dublin in the semi-finals. Maybe you might fancy your chances against the Dubs. I don't know, but I'd be curious to know people's thoughts on that. But cracking on with Division 3, Westmeath won 9, Fermanagh 12 points. I mean, for Westmeath, they just, once again, I mean, it feels like every time they have promotion within their grasp, they just seem to find a way to mess it up.
And just your family relations up there, Aaron, as well.
I know. Maybe they should start playing for Westmeath.
What age are they?
Oh, Jesus. Too old anyway. Be bright. We do. Westmeath would go out. They wouldn't have a team anymore. It'd be like Kilkenny.
Look, it's, oh God, Aaron. I'm to be honest with you, Aaron, I'm probably sick of saying it at this stage, but again, we just didn't see much. Like it got to, like, Christ, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with leagues on the right, but Joanne Countwell literally openly says last night, lads, we just had this footage of the Sean Quigley point from the Fermanagh GAA Twitter page. RTE are saying that. Like, what is going on there? Like, and we didn't see much of this game. I know there's a point that Sean Quigley really did score that wasn't given. I know Pat Spillane said yes on League Sunday that there'll be a bit of uproar and like there'll be a lot of people's heads on the roll at that stage. But look, at a draw, as you say, Westmeath, they'll be disappointed. They had promotion in their hands, they didn't get it. Westmeath have probably been disappointed in the last couple of weeks. Fermanagh probably will be happy enough because that's a tough place to go to. Kieran Donnelly, he is building momentum up there. He's a quality manager, as we all know. But again, Aaron, it's so hard to kind of come to these games because we're not bloody seeing them. Like, it's just embarrassing that Artie and Joanne, like, I know it's probably not Joanne's fault, and I know we're pointing the finger a lot and Pat Spillane and blah, blah, blah. But lads, get the finger out. Like it's just, when you're relying on, like, when they're literally saying we're getting from a Twitter page, and when some of the pundits that RTE have on board at the minute and they're getting hundreds and thousands potentially, and they're only talking about it, why can't they put a bit of investment in getting cameras at these games and showing them? Because Westmeath Fermanagh fans would have loved to see highlights of that game.
100%, yeah. Like, and sometimes you hear of cameras at games, but for whatever reason we don't get to see them. And I think I said in your podcast before, it's nearly like state secrets or something like that. I mean, we're just not able to see them at all. It's kind of crazy, really. And yeah, like, I was similar to yourself. I was just looking through some, a match report. Obviously, that's the only kind of way you can look at things. But from what I heard, anyway, Fermanagh played a lot of this game with 14 men. So, I mean, fair play to them for getting the ball in the end.
That was definitely a point. That was the Sean Quigley. That was definitely a point. Hans, like, to be fair, I think I seen a funny joke what was it again? There was no wind in the game, but I think was it the wind or what did someone say about the umpire? Was it the sun was in his eyes or something, and it was just a windy day or something like that? But no, it was definitely a point. It was a disgraceful decision, and it could cost Fermanagh promotion.
Yeah, it definitely could. Like, we'll get the league table up in a minute. I mean, it definitely could cost them. Like, and you do like it's a hard one because I know a few people are saying, oh, they need to get VAR in and they need to get in GAA and they need to have this Hawkeye technology at every ground. But realistically speaking, you're not going to get it at every ground. You're not going to get it at Cusack Park in Westmeath. Let's be perfectly honest. You can get it maybe in Division 1 grounds, the big grounds in the country. But then again, I don't really like that either because it's a divide then between the top and the bottom. And I just think that's how it is. Unfortunately, people make mistakes, and it's very harsh on Fermanagh if it does rule them out on promotion. But it is.
I tell you, I wouldn't like to be the person saying to Sean Quigley, that point didn't go over the bar. Christ, he will hunt you down.
Yeah. Longford 213, Wicklow 20 points. I mean, do you know, I'm kind of getting frustrated with Wicklow because I backed them to beat Laois last weekend because I was saying like they're getting a lot of the under 20 players in there, and I do think they have a good team up and coming at the minute. So I was thinking, right, that they might be able to turn over Laois, but then they got beaten fairly comfortably, and I was like, right, they're dead and buried, they're gone. Surely they're not going to turn over Longford, and then they produced a brilliant performance, beating Longford 20 points to 213. I mean, huge win.
Yeah, no, 100% it definitely was, and what are we talking 213? Yeah, like that's a massively scoring game, and oh God, Aaron, I'm kind of getting sick of saying this, but again, we didn't see any of it really. So like that's where we're at with it. But no, look, they'll be delighted with that. Longford, I know there's a couple of Cavan men involved there this year, Mickey Hannon and Paul Brady. They'll be disappointed with that. But 213, any day, that probably you do expect to win a game of football with that. I would have loved to see a bit of clips of this game. We didn't see it. But no, look at Wicklow. They'll be happy with that. A 1 point win against a relatively in form team. Look, we'll just have to wait and see. But look, they'll be happy with that result, and I suppose on to the next. But yeah, Aaron, what more can we unfortunately say about it, Aaron?
Yeah, and Owen Darcy with 7 points from what I've heard as well, and he seems to be a great addition into that Wicklow team from the under 20s. I actually think Wicklow are already relegated as well. Funnily enough, just because although they won this game, but Longford and Laois play each other in the final day, so regardless of what happens, unfortunately, I think Wicklow are gone, which is a shame for them. But I'm sure with some of the talent they're bringing through at the minute, they might come back from Division 4. I bet you're chuffed. You're going to probably avoid them now. You won't get your revenge on them from last year as a Cavan man.
100%. Jesus, yeah. If they are relegated and they relegated us last year, which should never have happened in the first place, Christ bless and save us. But Wicklow, our day will come, and by God, I'd love to go down to Auckland. That 7-hour round trip.
Yeah, and Louth. I mean, they keep marching on. They keep winning 112 to 1-8, and I think Danny Allen was saying here as well. He was saying Dublin will win Leinster. For Meath, it's going to take a few years, talented minors to come through like Sean Emmanuel. And he was also saying Louth could be dark horse to reach. I presume he means the Leinster final. Hart very shrewd. Samuel Roy exceptional. I mean, you never know. Like on the right side of the draw, I mean, Louth going up against Meath, it isn't exactly inconceivable that Louth turn over a Meath, and then if Dublin and Kildare are on the other side of the draw, I mean, it could happen. It really could.
It could, and by God, I would love to see them after 2010 if they could try. If Dublin could play their D team and Louth could come out and play Dublin, that'd be some spectacle. Louth 112, Antrim 1-8. Yeah, great win. Mickey Hart, we know all about that man. He is a shrewd operator up there with Horst Devlin. I know Ed McKinley, Stephen O'Neill, they'll probably be disappointed with that. 1-8, 70 minutes of football, not very good. But again, yeah, that's a very good comment by the chap that sent that in. Hard to shoot, man. Samuel Roy, I think he's the top scorer across all divisions this year. Have we seen the drop off him? No, because but look, he's flying. We're delighted for Samuel Roy. He's not getting enough credit he deserves. He's flying. It's great to see. A brilliant onwards and upwards for the Louth men. I think you called Louth to get promoted. I
did. Well, one of the only things I've gotten right so far.
I think I was 50-50 with you on that as well. You nailed that. So Jesus, fair play. So look, on Louth go. Mickey Hart will be delighted with the work that's going up there. The buy-in apparently is very good up and out. I think there's a massive grow, massive interest to play for Louth at the minute. Great to see. And it's great for the young lads to have a lad like Sam Mulroy. It's like David Clifford to Kerry. Mulroy shooting lights out. Fair play to him. And on the go. Antrim, I don't know. I suppose to have us in the championship, I know there's a bit of talk about that at the minute. I know the game's going to be Carrigan Park. Will their focus go towards the championship now? But look, that's probably a disappointing enough performance. But look, they'll be happy to probably stay in Division 3 at this stage, I'd say.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And as you were saying, yeah, Sam Mulroy with 1-9 in total in that game of Louth's 112. So just exceptional stuff. And he's produced this consistently as well. He did the same last year. You'll remember I think Louth were beaten by, it might have been Longford in the Leinster Championship, and he scored every point for Louth, even though they lost. So quite incredible stuff really there. Limerick
a game of 5-a-side.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah, maybe in FIFA or something like that.
You got to go down 5-a-side, Aaron. Just like the 5-a-side.
I'm not too bad now. I'm not too bad. Technically, I'm okay. I need to brush up physically. So I can take the big hits and give them at the same time. But technically, I'm not bad. I'm not going to do an F2 freestylers now and make a crazy comment or anything like that. But I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad.
Brilliant stuff. Oh man, Laois 14, Limerick 15. Yeah, Billy Lee. He is doing a sensational job up there. He real credit to him. I see Ross Munley still playing. I know we slagged Michael Murphy, but Christ, I don't even know what age Ross Munley is at this stage, coming on and doing well. But no, look, Limerick be delighted with that. Probably a tight game. Again, we didn't see much of it. Read match reports, tweets, but look, Limerick could be happy with that. Billy Lee, he'll be happy man this week because he's putting serious work up there at the minute.
Yeah, and a couple of points late on to win the game as well. So definitely huge from a Limerick point of view. And it's great as well. It's great as well to see teams like the likes of your Limericks, your Louths, your Antrims, who were a couple of years ago in Division 4, and they're just starting to... I know Louth were in Division 3 a couple of years ago as well, but after being down in Division 4, it's good to see these counties making improvements, like getting good coaches in, getting the right structures in place. And it does show that it isn't exactly impossible to go from Division 4 up to Division 2. You can bridge that gap. Really, between the Division 3 and Division 4 counties, there probably isn't really too much between them. I mean, there's definitely going to be gaps in quality, but there probably isn't too much between a lot of them.
Oh no, it is great to see. I think Louth, in fairness, they were in Division 2 in 2018, so obviously they went down a couple of divisions. But look, it's great to see them doing well. The smaller teams, likes of Limerick and Antrim, and really making a push for it, and really because we need new teams. We need new players coming in. It's great to see the likes of Mulroy shooting lights out, some players like that. But look, it's great to see these teams kind of coming up through the rafters. We know they're working as hard as the Dublins, the Mayos, the Kerrys of this world. They're finally getting the credit deserved. They're manoeuvring up through the divisions, and happy days, because Christ, the GAA can be very, very stale at times.
Who are you backing then for promotion? If we throw a league table up on the screen there, I mean it's really wide open. So I don't know who you're going to go for there. I'm not even. I think Fermanagh beat Limerick? Maybe they did. I mean, this is a bit like looking at a match equation and trying.
Longford's done well there.
Yeah, I mean, Longford are doing brilliant there, aren't they? I mean, they're really shooting the lights. If you reverse the table the other way around, I mean, they're going up to Division 2.
Oh God. Yeah, look at Aaron. I will give you praise. Aaron, King Prendergast, Louth are going up. You're delighted with yourself.
Sure. Look, you have to get them right every now and again. I mean, if you make enough predictions, you'll find it's a bit like Nostradamus. If you just keep making loads and loads of predictions, you'll eventually get some of them right.
Oh God, you definitely will. But no, honestly, that's a brilliant shout. Who else to go up? I'll say a team there. We'll go Louth. Can you get the table up there for a second?
Yeah, where are we going here? We have a lot of league tables here, so
look at. I think look at the form teams have really been Louth and Limerick. Westmeath be absolutely kicking themselves. Jesus Christ, when they had promotion in their hands. Yeah, look, you're probably looking at Louth and Limerick there, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, and funny enough, a lot of these counties play each other as well on the final day of the season, so it definitely is wide open, no doubt. But Westmeath play Antrim at home, so that's going to be a big game. I have a funny feeling Westmeath might still sneak in there, or maybe the winner of that game might get in there, but it's going to be interesting.
Isn't it great to see competitive games? Only if we could bring that into the championship, Aaron.
Yeah. Do you know what the funny thing is? If they did have Proposal B and Dublin finished 6th and then won Leinster, they'd be out of the All-Ireland. Crazy, isn't it?
Oh, you'd hate that, big man.
Imagine, yeah. And
Jeez,
there was me wanting Proposal B, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can see now why people didn't want this.
100%, big man, and it'd be the Talty Cup, would it, if Dublin were to?
I'm not. I think they just would. No, I think they just went out completely. Yeah,
right.
All Ireland. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit of a mad one, but obviously that isn't the case anyway. Cavan, big win over London. I mean, Jesus, just about. I mean, London, they done that thing again where they seem to fall behind by a couple of points. Cavan quite comfortably. I think Cavan hit 1-4 in the opening couple of minutes of this game, and then London just slowly came back into it and nearly looked like they were going to win it. I think if this game went on for an extra couple of minutes, I think London might have sneaked it.
Oh, God. I had to take about 2 to 3 hours to calm down after this game. Look, a big man, that result yesterday was just embarrassing. I think we really need to look at ourselves where we are as a county. And I know a lot of people are going to say going over to London and blah, 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 and the bits and the pieces and the travelling. Get your house in order, get a system that will finish off a team like London. I know London are a bit of a crest of wave this year and getting players together, but Jesus, if you have any intentions, and I know, God, like I keep saying, this is a football mad county, like to not get over the line convincing that game. Where are we at the minute? What's going on in training? You know, what is actually happening in the Cavan setup at the minute? Like, it's simply not good enough to just get over the line. I think Ray Galligan nearly, conceded a goal in the last couple of seconds, if I'm right. And I don't know what was happening at the end. I didn't see any of it. I'm only relying on Urban Sound here, but it was just gut-wrenching stuff, really. And it's hard to know really where the lads are. I know we've voted for this weekend to seal promotion and blah, blah, blah. And look, all will be well and get a win over them. But there's serious cracks there at the minute. And it just doesn't seem to be going well. It's just, like, Christ, I know the start was good, but like to give away the penalty to just Killian Gunnar Brady to just letting lads in and just be very defensively slack. It's just very disappointing to be hearing. And I know I haven't been to many of the games, thank God, this year, if any sanity left, but Christ, that's just not good enough yesterday. I was vocal enough about it. And just, the Cavan lads really need to have a good look at themselves this week of training, because Christ, totally beat London by a point. That is not bowling well for the championship, Aaron, and that's only a tip of the iceberg.
Do you think London do you think maybe they're a lot better though than what we give them credit for? I mean, they do, a lot of their games have been very, very close. I mean, they lost to Sligo, I think, by 9 points, I think it was. But regardless of that, every game's been 1 or 2 points within the margin. And I mean, obviously the likes of Liam Gavahan and James Gallagher who've shot the lights out this year. Henry Walsh with 1-2 there. In this one, from what I've seen. So, I mean, maybe they're a lot better than what we think. It's a weird one because we've never really seen them, so we don't really know like where they're at. But maybe they're a lot better than what we think. I don't know.
Yeah, look, okay, so maybe play the devil's advocate here. Like, and I suppose you look at it from a different point of view. Michael Maher, Lorcan Mulvey, former Cavan player. He's given Michael Maher a hand this year. He knows Cavan lads inside out. It was probably going into the unknown, and we can only rely on scores and Liam Gallagher and these boys doing well. Look, London would have been absolutely pumped for that game. Make no mistakes about it. I'm hearing whispers of London probably deserve to win the game. That's not good to hear, but we really, really need to get our house in order and really need to get into a mindset of whereas we are better than this. We're not a Division 4 team. And I know maybe London, it was probably a surprise package of like a lot of the quality that they might have had and a lot of players that they had and stuff like. But look at, if you have any intentions to have a big year, we need to be beating the likes of these teams by 6 to 7 points of this world. And that just did not transpire yesterday. And you'd nearly, some of the boys should really be ashamed of themselves. And I know there's like a lot of work going in with Mickey Graham and Sean Johnson and Rice with Wenham this year. And I know like a lot of hands on deck, but what is really going on in training, or like what's going on in the forward end of things? I know we're not getting much from our forwards at the minute, and there's been lads brought in, there's lads not getting game time. He's kind of sticking with the old faithful. Some of the old faithful aren't working. Michael argue, I went on about him last year. He still seems to be with the Cavan setup at the minute. Christ, he must have won a raffle to be on the Cavan team at the minute. It's so annoying when you're following something so long and the graph probably isn't putting in. But no, it's just frustration, Aaron. It is frustration because we're in division, like fair enough, Division 3. We bit of a pass last year because you knew you were playing half decent teams. No excuses this year. Division 4, the teams we were coming up against, it'd annoy you, Aaron, because we are better than this. And Mickey Graham, Christ help us, it wouldn't take Albert Einstein to figure out that we are better than this.
Yeah, and the crazy thing as well is like when we show the league table up in a couple of moments, I mean, when you look at the score difference of Cavan, it's actually a lot less than a lot of the other teams. Like a lot of their games have actually been very close. Like there's been a lot of 2-3 point wins, 4-point wins.
Madness.
Whereas you look at teams like Sligo and Leitrim, who might not even get promoted, but you look at someone like Sligo, they've one of the best attacks in the entirety of the National League and probably one of the best, positive score differences in the league. So quite crazy there. But what's your opinion on Antrim in a couple of weeks going to Corrigan Park as it is? I mean, could that be a banana skin? Could you win it? Could you not? I mean, I don't know. I really do think Antrim are going to win it. I really do.
Yeah, look, we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose, big man. But look, I think that kind of new Bridge of Nowhere kind of atmosphere might come around it. It probably didn't suit us the last couple of weeks, the razzmatazz with that game. Probably should just, I know the fans and I kind of was vocal about my views about it, but look, it is where it is. We have to play it where it is. I know there's talk about, Casement Park not being built. We can't just kind of keep going back to that excuse, but look, it is where it is. We have to play it in the venue. The fans might not get into it. We'll have to wait and see, but look, a result like that yesterday for the league campaign we've had doesn't bode too well. The lads will need to put in graft. If you want to represent Cavan this year, you know what you need to do. You need to put on a bit of pride. Win games with a bit of pride. Like this crack of letting teams back. Like first half, by all accounts, we looked like we were strolling doing well. This crack of taking the foot off the pedal in second half of the games will not wipe the Cavan fans. I'm looking at forums, I'm reading tweets, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. Things are not all well with the Cavan end of things at the minute. A lot of fans aren't happy. It's just simply not good enough. A lot of people are kind of talking as Mickey Graham, the man to lead us forward. Will this be his last year? Who knows? Will he jump back to Mullinachta? We'll have to wait and see. So look, it is frustration at the minute because we know we are better than this. We definitely know we are better than this. Just see, you read that comment out to me in a second. We'll wait and see. But no, we know we're better than this. This reliance of Grove McCarran, it grows 31-32 now. We have the forwards there. I don't know why they're not delivering. What's going on? It's just, God, you could nearly write a book. Regarding the Antrim game, we have to wait and see. Antrim will be absolutely mad up for it. Stephen O'Neill and McGinley, they will study Cavan for weeks at this stage. They'll know what to do to poke the bear, I suppose. It's going to be a fortress down there. It'll be a tight pitch. And I know you're looking at Antrim there at the minute, but look, if we can get our house in order, Jesus, like we have to win with style this weekend against Waterford. We really have to go at them, get that job done early. None of this absolute nonsense of letting these teams back into the game in the second half. Close games out, and please, Cavan, put a bit of pride in the bloody jersey again. Christ.
Yeah, Gavin says, is Cavan secure for promotion? It isn't confirmed yet because Sligo play Leitrim, so if one of them wins their games, and if Tipperary win as well, and then say Cavan were to lose, then they would finish third, so they wouldn't be promoted.
Waterford better than 06. Yeah,
really, yeah.
League
long time ago now, though.
What was that other comment? Yeah,
the other comment there was just Cavan is a great GAA county, great supporters. They love their Ulster football. And Cavan, the Cavan team that won Ulster in 2020 was one of my favorite teams in recent years, and it was a brilliant story. It was an amazing story, and it is, and it is crazy seeing Tipperary in Division 4 as well. And it's just, it is kind of mad, all right, when you see counties hit the highest of highs, and then all of a sudden you're down in Division 4. You kind of nearly look at it, and it doesn't make sense really.
Oh no, 100%. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's a football mad county, and like Mr. Allen has said that very well. Like that's the level we expect to be at. You just feel in 2020 winning that cup that we did win, was it just a bit of a canter at this stage, or did we get teams in the hop? But look, we really need to get our house in order big time. If there wasn't a big wake up call, the Tip game, even the Carlow game, the Wester game, I went to that, the Legion game. Really just getting over the line. Like we should be winning these games with a bit of gloss, a bit of determination, and a bit of pride. So lots of work to do because Antrim, they'll be coming in thick and heavy.
Yep, and the other big result in Division 4, Tipperary 216, Carlow 11 points. Tipperary are coming for
Blood
you in
pressure
Division
just
4.
rise down. Blood pressure just rise down because I felt like Roy Keane after United game there, big man.
I'm sure you did. What was your thoughts on this anyway, Tipperary? I mean, it's kind of crazy, really, because they started this league quite poorly, drew at Waterford, the only point Waterford have on the board, and then they, lost to Leitrim at home. They got beaten quite convincingly, and now they've gone on a bit of a run. I think, 4 wins in a row?
4 wins in a row. Davy Power is getting a kick out of the tip, man. Good to see. Getting the kind of hitting the heights that they are expected to hit, much like Cavan, really. We did not score that much against Carlow. Christ bless us. Good. Look, Conor Sweeney, by all accounts, another good game. Again, didn't see much of this game, so can't say a whole pile, but look, they'll be delighted with that. Semper Stadium, very tricky place to go. Carlow found it out yesterday. In a hunt for promotion, probably where they should have been aiming for at the start of the year, because we know the quality Tip can bring to the table. It's a great win. It's a very high scoring. Davy Power looks like he's finally getting a kick out of the Tipperary lads. It's good to see. It's a shame Mickey Quinlivan's not there this year. Huge loss. Him and Mr. Conor Sweeney is like Batman and Robin up front, and it's a pity Robin's not about. But yeah, a great win by all accounts.
Yeah, and I suppose the impressive thing from a Tipperary point of view is like earlier in the year, it felt like they were a bit kind of over-reliant on Conor Sweeney, but they're getting loads of other scores like Sean O'Connor with 5 points, Mark O'Shea with 1-2, Colin O'Shaughnessy with 1-1 from centre back, so 3 points from Russell in midfield. So, I mean, they're definitely getting scores a lot of all across the pitch, really. So fair play to them. Any word on Carlow? Any thoughts on them?
Oh, Carlow rising. Yeah, look, I feel sorry for them. Like, let's not beat around the bush. Like, you're probably looking at it. I was at the Cavan Wexford game, and I was saying to a chap, like, what the Wexford really do. Look, Wexford are bad against us. It's just teams like this. It's your Wexfords, your Carlows, and Waterfords. You'd wonder how to keep the momentum going, what they're at in training every week. Fair play to the managers of these counties, because Christ, to get these lads, get a bit of a tune out of them, get like a game like that, to get bet like that against Tipperary, that does not bode too well. You'd wonder really what's going on. The belief must just be on the ground. We know how hard these counties are working. You just feel sorry for them, Aaron. And you can't really do much for league. You can't really split it up again, because look, league positions are league positions. Yeah, it's poor stuff. And with them lads, that'll hurt them. It'll be like Donegal losing at the weekend. It'll be like Mayo losing at the weekend. It'll hurt them because they put in the graft. They go every evening. They do a bit every evening. And Christ, surely some of them lads are questioning the future in the game, because realistically, like, and this is obviously for another day's debate, but Christ, like, what the Carlow have to play for now this year? Like, a bit of a league campaign, like a Leinster Championship year done. So it's like you would really feel so. Like, I know I give out of a Cavan, and I know we can build blocks, but Christ, the likes of Carlow, Wexford, and Waterford are in yeah, you just feel sorry for them, boss man.
Yeah, and I suppose we were speaking about Wexford there. I mean, Leitrim 3-9, Wexford 1-11. Big win for Leitrim, but there was a lot of people speaking about Wexford maybe being promoted, and I thought they'd be up there. I always kind of fancied Leitrim to be promoted, but I mean, Wexford, yeah, they've been very... I mean, considering how well they played at the end of last year, how spirited they were against the Dubs and everything else, I mean, it's just... You feel like they have quality in the county, but it's just not working at all. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're getting out. And like, I watched them against us in Breffni Park, and they had a lot to be desired for. But look at a good win for Andy Moran's Leitrim. They will be happy. He's building blocks up there. Will he get promoted? I'm not sure. We'll have to see this weekend. But look, they'll be delighted. 3-9 tally, 70 minutes football. That's great stuff. Wexford, it's better than what they've been putting up. It's better than what they've been putting up. Park Sean McDermott is a hard place to find, hard place to go to. But look, they'll be happy enough. But no, Leitrim, look at job done. Andy Moran, and he'll be happy enough. Andy Moran project with Leitrim. I said this to you after a couple of beers last weekend. Where that project's going, we will wait and see. Mr. Prendergast.
100%. And Waterford 1-11, Sligo 15 points. The El Clasico to finish up on it, I suppose. I mean, Waterford, they had 13 men at half time. They had 2 men sent off. They
lots of cards, Aaron. Yeah, and Valentine Day's gone.
Yeah, cards being handed out left, right, and centre. I mean, you have to give the Waterford men something, I suppose. And I mean, they were winning this one quite comfortably at one stage, and Sligo came back won the game late on. Big victory, keeps them in the mix. I mean, Sligo's a weird one because they've beaten some teams very, very convincingly, but then they've sort of had some strange results, and this was nearly going to be another one of them weird results.
Look at Sligo, probably a routine victory, and I don't know how they probably let it that close. And Christ, that's quite worrying if Waterford can put up 111, and we're playing the mighty men from Waterford this weekend in Kingspan Breffni. But look at Sligo, probably be disappointed how to let that game go that close. Again, we didn't see any of it, but there we go. Mr. McEntee would be happy enough. A 1-point victory. But Christ, that's probably worrying from our point of view, because if Waterford can do that against an informed Sligo, we wait and see. But look, it's a good win. Where was that? Fraher Field. Christ, that could not be an easy place to go. That round trip must have been horrendous. But yeah, look, there we go, Aaron. It's hard to comment on these games because we're seeing diddly squats.
Yeah, and I suppose to finish up, looking at the big Division 4 table. I mean, should we just stop the count there, as a famous as a famous man once said, who shall
Waterford have done well.
I mean, they're improving. They're getting better. That's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, the slow progress is better than no progress.
Oh God, I don't know. Yeah, it's bleak.
I mean, to be fair, you'd look at Waterford, and if you look at their score,
it's a nice place to go. I think. Have you ever been to Waterford?
Oh yeah, I've been in Waterford. I love Waterford now. Waterford's a great city. I once called it a town, and there was one of my friends who's from Waterford. He lectured me, and he said, "No, it's not a town. We're a city. It's official. It's confirmed." It's nearly like I nearly felt like he was going to pull out the papers and the document and be like, "No, it's actually a city." I was like, "Okay, sorry, Jesus."
Oh man! Oh, look, a big man. Like, Christ, Cavan, please just get out of it. Like, my big take from this table: just Cavan, get out of there, please. Please just get out of there this weekend and secure promotion and get out of there before Cavan people just, I don't know, become alcoholics or something.
Yeah, and Tipperary play London. It is at home. So
if Tip win, will they go up as well?
Yeah, they'll go up as well. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, late show.
Yeah.
The teams expected to go up will go up, rightly so. I think McEntee, few blunders during the league. He'll be disappointed with it. Leitrim, Andy Moore project, he's working on something, maybe promotion next year, not this year. But the teams expected to go up will go up, and all will be well in the world. And Cavan will be in Division 3 next year, big man.
Happy days. I mean, he'd be up there flying with the big boys, the likes of your Downs, and possibly Cork in there as well. You might have a trip down south.
Cork's not a bad spot. I was there in 2019, actually. If anyone's watching, anyone works in the Imperial Hotel in Cork, oh man, what a hotel. So if we do get Cork again, we will get Cork. It is Division 3, won't we?
If provided Cork get relegated and lose to Offaly,
Oh, Jesus, right. Oh, okay. If it would be great to do, because that's a great spot. So a few nice trips. I didn't get to go to London yesterday, so hopefully next year get a few of them trips. And by all accounts, actually, before we go on, the bloody London looked like unbelievable crack. I think some of the Cavan lads are still there, but looks things. It's a great place for a few Gargaldinios.
Yeah. I don't know whose idea it was to put the Cavan men away to London on Paddy's weekend. I don't know whose idea that was. Who made that one? Was that you?
I wish it bloody was. See, I peaked too early. I went out for the Ireland-England game, and then I forgot it was Paddy's Day, and then bang, Paddy's Day, and then oh man, what the hell was even at Paddy's night? Having a few beers, watching a movie. So Christ, I don't know. Getting older.
Yeah, no, it creeps up in you quickly. It really, really does. And unfortunately, we're cracking on too much. But yeah, no, player of the week. Who do you think player of the week?
Player of the week. God, that is a good question. Player of the week. Jeez, you've got me there, big man. You've got me there.
It's a tough one. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot to think of.
God, that is like it's kind of like the $1 million. Oh, who would you give player of the week to? I tell you what, give it to Samuel Roy.
Yeah, I suppose 1-9 in total. I mean,
class.
The quality of him, no doubt about it. I mean, obviously Clifford coming off the bench 1-2, probably maybe one that maybe people thought of, but Derek Kirwan back in the Kildare team as well with 4 points.
Peter Hart. Peter Hart.
Peter Hart. Oh yeah, Peter Hart. Yeah, I suppose for that dummy alone, I mean, you should definitely. Unbelievable bit of skill.
You nearly dedicated a podcast to Peter Hart. What a performance! 32, 33 years of age, being around the block so long, keeps himself in great nick, and just like us, Aaron, doesn't drink, smoke, or eat bad food.
No, he definitely doesn't, and not like us either. We're good men. We're good men.
100%. But look at Sam Mulroy / Peter Hart would be my player of the week, and fade of the week to Aaron Prendergast. Who cut that for you?
Faded away. This was up the road actually. Yeah, just a local haircut. It was I think it was the day after Paddy's Day I got this cut. Every barber was closed, but there's always one. You'll always find one, and I found one, thankfully. So yeah, happy days.
Happy days. But no, exciting weekend, big man. Looking forward to this weekend. There's going to be so many trills and spills. We've seen so many good performances last weekend. Bring it into next week, because a lot of people are saying it's good football we're seeing now going to be the end of the good football we see for the rest of the year. I hope to God it won't be. And long may it continue, because Christ, Aaron, it's the GAA we're following. We're proud to see the lads doing so well. And it's great to see like the young lads coming onto the pitch, getting Clifford's autograph and this, that, and the other. And just great to see people out and about again, because Christ, Aaron, we were in Mountjoy for long enough.
Yeah. No, we sure were. No, it was brilliant to get everyone back. You know, all the fans back, all the rest. It's brilliant to see. Will you
go to clubs?
Yeah. Probably not. No, probably not.
You don't know where it is, sure.
Yeah, probably lose it. Like, you know, I'd have to get a train or a bus down, and
there are no trains going through there, big man.
No trains going through there, but Jesus, I don't know. I'd probably end up in Belfast and probably just stay there, or end up in Donegal or something. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's near Cavan. It's near Cavan.
Near Cavan. We'll drop off to you on the way, but yeah, no. Cheers very much anyway, John, for coming on as always. Top man. I'll link down your podcast, Jmac podcast, down below. I'm obviously on your own podcast a number of times as well. So, yeah, cheers very much for coming on. Cheers anyone who tuned in, who left a like, anything like that. If you could subscribe, if you haven't already, that'd be much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on all the weekend's action as well. If you could give the podcast a rating over on Spotify or Google Podcasts, that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, top man, John, appreciate you jumping on.
No worries, sir. An absolute pleasure. Cavan and Dubs are back, baby.
We're back. It's like a duo. Starsky and Hutch or something.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. Dumb